Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hey, oh, yay. Okay. I am so excited because today, tonight, a very special guest on our live. Looking forward. Let's just see.
Hi,
Hey! All right. Let's
how
get the
are
party
you?
started.
Totally. How are you?
Well, I am doing great. I'm welcoming everybody coming on. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you, just a short while ago, I was sitting in an auditorium watching a 4.5 hour ballet recital.
Did you know you were up for a 4.5 hour ballet recital?
You know what? Yes, this
Okay.
is not this is an every year kind of thing where I am lucky enough to be really enjoying a literally it takes 4.5 hours, but it's quite beautiful, but it's very intense. Um,
Wow.
but you know what? It's not, it's my 4.5 hours of watching, but it's really the, all of the participants, all of the girls that are doing that have been practicing from the beginning of the year, and it
Wow.
culminates in this. Yes. So,
It sounds like an incredible production and also takes a lot of patience.
oh yes, 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 and it also corresponds. And as a working mom of multiple children, and a psychologist, it's at the same time that is finals week. So to be able to spend all of that time when there are other things that are also in the works, and people getting ready for camp, right? So
Yeah.
June is just that high powered, intense month, and it, and then I always have this ballet. So it's
Oh my
great.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad you're back in time.
Yes, very good to be back. So yes, please, I would love to just introduce yourself to everybody. And as I always start with, I'm Dr. B, and this is Gobi Society, and we are going to empower and really get together tonight. And we are in just right June. And I have my very illustrious guest here. And yes, please introduce yourselves.
Okay, illustrious. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Big
I'm
word.
feeling it. Hey, I'm Sarah Klarberg of Sarah Squad. No doctor or fancy title attached to my name, just lots of fun things, tutus, colorful walls. And what I do is I use fun to empower girls. So I spend my life partying, running a camp, and running special groups to help girls build their confidence, their resilience, and all the amazing skills that we want them to have in life. And I was so excited to talk to you because I know that you're helping girls, you're helping families, and creating this whole movement of like all this good stuff that we just want every kid to have access to.
Right. No, 1,000%. Thank you. So, what can we be doing to be helpful? Because the clock is ticking, and camp is what day does camp start? Does your camp start?
So we start on June 24th. Some
Okay.
camps start already on the 22nd. So it's really soon.
Yeah, we have even one of the schools in the neighborhood. They curtailed their. I think they stopped school like a couple of days early because people were complaining that like there was no time between camp and school. Like it's really camp is upon us. Like we are there.
Yes,
And
we are.
I just we're in week 5 of the summer cohort that I've been running to help empower parents and kids like on how to really maximize and get their mojo going before camp, because camp to me is like the time where there's no academic responsibility, but now it's all just social, have fun and feel good about yourself and be empowered and make friends. So, but it's hard. It's hard to like shift to take the one mind frame, like especially I have older kids that are, that are involved with midterm, with finals and getting off and getting vaccinated and all that stuff. And then to switch gears and to go right into fun and have a good time mode. Like sometimes it takes a little bit of work. It's like you have to kind of like mentally prepare and physically prepare, right?
Totally. And I think that a lot of times in camp preparation, I know for my daughter, I'm sending my daughter off to sleepaway camp.
Okay.
And since we
for the first time or not?
No, this is going to be her third year.
Okay.
But she's switching camps, and we live in Passaic. So a lot of her camp is from Lakewood. And I know my sisters who live in Lakewood keep texting me. They're like, by the way, make sure you buy loafers and not natives. By the way, these are the fanny packs that everyone's getting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we are so busy making sure that our kids have like all the things that are the in things for camp. But are we like taking the time to make sure like they have the skills they need? Because I don't think that it's the Flofers or the Adidas fanny pack or the Herschel one, depending where you're from, that are going to make it. I'm like, a confident kid is going to hold her own, even if she's wearing different sneakers than everyone else.
Right.
And so we keep, we're back and forth between, yes, loads of shopping, but also what do they really need to be successful?
Right. So I think that it starts with, I remember reading about like models and how, like what they did to like look their best. And there's nothing that is more valuable than a smile and that positive energy. So, if we take a moment to really try to get our kids into what I call like flipping it for the positive, then I think that will go a long way and in like making sure that whatever they wear, like they really feel good and they give off that aura. And positivity really starts with the mentality. If you develop a mantra or something that you could tell yourself, like, I am great, I've got this, I could do this. And even like I tell people, practice it once a day. When you wake up in the morning, say it. When you before you go to sleep, say it. Like really own it. And that level of positivity, I feel like that is so much more valuable than, the fanny pack. Because, that looks good too. But there's definitely a quality of like, if you don't feel the confidence within yourself, and not like boastfulness, but if you don't feel the confidence like of positivity, it doesn't matter what you wear. No one's coming over. No one's going to feel good with you. Like it's not possible. So, I think that confidence and positivity really are so important. But a smile, there is nothing like a smile. And eye contact, there's nothing like looking somebody in the eyes. Those things are so valuable in giving over that level of, I know myself, I feel good about myself, and now I want to go in and I want to meet you.
Yeah, for sure. And what I do when I do my groups with girls, we talk about what the word affirmations means.
Okay.
And my girls actually script these positive affirmations, have them hang them on their wall and read them out loud in the morning. And it's amazing because I always tell them our brain believes what we tell it. Our brain will believe its stories. And sometimes when we don't tell it the right story, it makes up its own story. And it can make up a story of, I'm not smart enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not athletic enough, popular enough. And if a kid is going to camp telling themselves those stories, they're going to give that energy out into the world.
Yeah. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's like exactly right.
And they get back exactly what they're expecting.
Right.
So they're like, all the kids are going to hate me because I'm not cool enough, right? And then what happens? They give out, they hold back and they give this closeness. And then they feel the other girls pulling back. And then they're like, you see, I knew it. And if they go into camp and they're like, I am a happy person, I make people feel good about themselves, people love to hang out with me, then they give those vibes off. And what happens? People love to hang out with them. People feel good about themselves. people don't want to be friends with you because you're the best at machanayim. People want to be friends with you because you make them feel good when they're around you.
Right. And I always like, there's, you know, kids ask me, so what can I do to show that like that I want to be your friend, right? So I find that, you know, like that everything with me is a mantra, or everything with me is like a mnemonic, like something that's like easy. So I always tell them hiccup. Okay, so what does hiccup stands for? Hic stands for okay. So the H is be helpful. See what you could do to like offer help, or just look for that opportunity just to be helpful. The I is invite, right? Oh, do you want to sit with me? Oh, you want to have it over? Oh, can I have, like, invite them in some way. And the other, and you know, it's so interesting because you know, everything just like can just 1, 2, 3, like, you know, where you know, if a kid can just hold something in their pocket, like it's so helpful, because then they can, you know, they can just pull it out. Oh, and the C is compliment. Give a compliment. And it's so easy to be within yourself about like, oh, they're not gonna like what I'm wearing. Oh, but it is, you know, once you start to look to say something nice about somebody else, then again, it's that positivity. It's like if I'm looking to give a compliment to someone else because I know that I have to, then I'm looking for a positive. I'm looking for a positive, ergo, I can find a positive within myself and like, again, have that positive aura. But yeah, so hic up. So in that way, you know, you're allowing yourself to connect, and you're showing I'm friendly. I want to be there. I want to like get to know you. You know, because camp is just that kind of thing. Like it can get overwhelming. There are kids you know, there are kids you don't know, kids that you know that you're friends with don't really want to be with you. They want to branch out and have their camp friends and their school friends. Like there's a lot of stuff. Again, it's like you know, it's not so easy. And people can sometimes be very friendly and sometimes not so friendly, not so friendly at all.
Yeah, I find that again as the camp director. Sorry, I'm like I came up to my office and I forgot, if your office is in the attic and you don't run air conditioning all day, you're coming up. I know, so I'm like, Dad, here we go, in the attic. But I have my background, so you know we'll swap for the background. But I know the first day of camp, right? Because I'm the director, so I'm like in there and I see the kids. I'm the kind of director that does not hang out in the office. I hang out with the kids. Okay. So I'll like go into the bunks and I'm watching the tension, and I'm watching the awkwardness, and I'm watching as kids are like trying to make friends and connect. And it's so hard because if you don't have rules of how to do it and it doesn't come naturally to you, then I see sometimes kids come across as really like, they act as if they're snobby, which is really another way of saying I'm insecure. I don't feel comfortable. Right. Or they just like stick with the same people and they're overly clingy. Like there's so many different things. I love that thing about hiccup. That's a great idea because it gives them such a great tool. It's like, here's what you can do. Right. Here's what you can do and how you can reach out to new girls. And I always tell everyone, when all else fails, just smile at people. Like just smile, because it makes people feel so good. Like I'm watching you smile. It makes me smile back at you. And we've had one phone conversation. This is my first time meeting you on screen. And I know. She's so like nice, right? Because you're smiling. And it just makes me smile. So it's like the easiest way. If someone doesn't have words and they're not feeling confident enough to do more, simply smiling makes you likable.
Right. No, 1,000%. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Speaking about when I got vaccinated, and again, this is not political, so I'm not going to say whether or not you should, but it reminds me of a really funny story of just like communication and how, you know, communication can kind of go like in different directions. So I was sitting there in the waiting room, just waiting and waiting until it was my turn. And all of a sudden, this man came in, and he was a big man, and he had like this belt that, like, I don't know, his pants were kind of like falling down. And he screams, and he's like, "Phone, phone!" And I'm like, if he thinks I'm giving him my phone, like there is no way. And he's like, "Phone, phone!" And I'm like, oh gosh, like he's really gonna ask me for my phone. Like this is Corona time. Like I am not giving you my phone. Anyway, he turns and he stretches over me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's going to reach for my phone. And he stretches, and right above me, I didn't realize, but there was a phone on the wall. And the phone on the wall, like, you know, like I guess like a hospital phone, whatever. So he picks up the phone and he starts dialing really hard, and he picks up and he's like, Sarah, I'm coming home with the chicken. I bought 2 things of chicken. I bought 3 things of spaghetti, and na na na. And he's going on and on and on. And then he's like, hello. And there was no dial tone because he didn't dial 9 or whatever to dial out. So everyone's screaming, dial 9. And so like he didn't understand, whatever. And I'm like, sir, like you have to press the button to be able to dial out. Like otherwise no one's going to hear you. No one could get it. So he kind of understood. I think he was only Yiddish speaking. Anyway, so he presses 9. Okay. So I like kind of like showed him, he presses 9 and he picks up the phone again and he dials it. And this time, you know, he gets back on about Sarah and he's like, hello. And so this time, thank goodness. Okay. Sarah's like, hi. And he's like, I'll be home soon. And he hangs up the phone. And he was like, I already said everything that I wanted to say. Like I wasn't going to say it again. So I guess, right. Okay. So the point is, and this is something that I think about a lot, like if we don't do the right things to get ourselves to communicate effectively, like if we don't put on that smile or if we don't, then it's like, it's wasted. Like he was calling out and it was like, you know, and he was saying, but like it didn't mean anything. It only means something if like you dial 9, you put on the smile, you make yourself, you know, approachable. And so like, that's to me, like, that's what a smile really is. It's like that dial 9. It's like, if I do that, then people are actually going to hear, they're going to want to listen. They're going to want to get to know, like, you know, that's like step number 1. But,
that's such a great story. I'm glad the phone was like not on your head. I was like expecting you to be like, oh, he's telling you the phone's falling on your head or something.
Yeah, no.
It's so funny. Like nobody uses phones on the wall anymore.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true.
Like nobody does. I asked like kids, even kids, like they only know cordless. I asked my kids if they, you know, like the old phones where we used to turn the dials. Anybody on here remember those phones where we used to do that? Did you? You remember those, Kasia, right?
I do, but I'm thinking like we don't even use a house phone anymore. Like
Right.
it's gone beyond. Like my kids are gonna one day be like, what? There was a phone in a house? Like what are you talking about? That like that was attached to something like not, you know, not a cell phone.
Right, but we used to do do Chabad. She remembers
she
those.
knows. Okay.
We literally used to do, like, you remember those dials? I used to do it at my grandparents' house, not at my house, but we would do like dial like the whole way around. And if you did one number wrong, you had to start from the beginning. Remember, like you turned and like your finger killed. Yeah, so it's been a bit. I asked my kids if they would know how to dial on one of those. I showed them one. They're like, no, what do you do with that thing? So evidently I'm old. I found that out by asking my kids. But the communication thing, it's like, it's so powerful, like starting with a smile. I shared already, I love positive affirmations for building confidence. Another thing that this was very interesting. And you've like done this in like school, I'm sure, because you went to school for this. I get my education on the internet. Shh, don't tell. But basically the fascinating thing is like complimenting people. Hi, Shandy Plotsker, you're making me feel very cool because you popped in here. So the whole, what's it called? The whole idea of like complimenting to build confidence, it doesn't even work. I'm saying, I'm sure, like, in other words, if parents overly compliment a child, then it's not going to end up building their confidence. It's not how we.
Right.
Ooh. 1 second. Are you frozen or am I
right?
frozen?
No, you have to put your money where your mouth is. Right.
Right.
So I'm a very big believer in that. Yeah.
And kids have to build confidence through developing skills, through overcoming challenges, through proving it to themselves. So one of the things that I always tell kids is like, if you have parents that are there to support you and help you build your confidence. Like, you're so lucky. You are. But not every kid has that. And I'll have a lot of kids who like come through my groups that are unfortunately a little bit navigating this on their own. And so one of the things I always tell them is choose a little goal and put your mind to accomplishing it. And I love this when going to camp. In other words, I'll say to them, pick something that you're going to do 3 times on the first day, that when you do that, you're going to be able to feel proud because whether you stepped out of your comfort zone, whether you like did something that you never imagined yourself doing, whatever it is. And that actually builds confidence, right? Because you've done something hard. So I have kids like just choose like what's their thing that they're going to do, step out of your comfort zone and do it. And it's like, I feel like it's like such a great thing because they're doing something that helps make them build friends. And they also are accomplishing something that makes them feel good. So that's one thing. What's Shandy saying? We have some kids good. I'm just reading Shandy's comments here. I love this, Shandy. See, that's why Shandy's the best teacher. Hasi, you see Shandy's comments here?
No, it didn't pull up. Okay, but it will.
Okay, so Shandy said that when a kid in her class does something great, instead of saying, I'm so proud of you, she says, aren't you proud of yourself? How do you feel? Which is amazing. It like turns into then, oh my gosh, I love that. And she said they have to learn to love themselves internally, not just based on compliments, which is so true. Like, we build our confidence by the things we accomplish, not if people say to us, oh, you're amazing, you're beautiful. We have to build that inside of us to be able to do
and
that.
and I often tell parents that in order to build your kids' confidence, don't necessarily just give them compliments, because like you said, that only goes a certain way, but put your money where your mouth is. And what do I mean by that? Give them the opportunity to make the decision, right? Because by allowing them the opportunity to make the decision, when you say to them, oh, so when they ask you, okay, so what should I do? And you say, well, let me hear what you've tried and what have you got so far? That allows them to feel that you really believe in them. Now, you're not just saying, oh, I think you're so smart, but when it comes to the decision, I'm going to go with your idea. Now, not with everything, but if you give them the opportunity to make the decision to say, you know what, I know that my idea might be good, but I really want to hear yours. That builds confidence because that really shows that you believe in them. Right. And then it's not so much about what they accomplished, but even how they try. What was your idea? Like, let's go with your thing.
100%. My son was actually just asking me if he should save his book cover for next year. So I'm like, it's up to you. He's like, but tell me what to do.
Right.
I'm like, it's up to you. I'm like, whichever decision you make is going to be a good decision. It's like what you want. And you know, it's still on the steps, of course, so we can all like walk past it 50 times because he's like, I didn't decide yet. But I'm going to leave that for him because I want him to either decide, I don't like it anymore, I'm throwing it out, or I'm keeping it. But whatever he does, I want him to know that his decision was good enough. And Shandy, you are amazing. By the way, Shandy, loving your new song with Bracha.
Oh, Shandy, yes, loving your new song. And you know what? I had the opportunity to be with Bracha Jaffe the day, and she announced, she's like, in a couple of hours, this song is going to be, you know, let out into the world. And it was like, oh my goodness. And the excitement was just, so exciting.
I can't wait. And we are going to definitely be playing that in camp and singing it in Kumsitzes this summer. So thank you for that amazing music. And I see Leah Rosenberg here. Leah actually recorded my camp songs. We love Leah. Her voice is incredible, and she is so talented. She is so talented. I see another compliment coming up here. Not compliment, comment. I'm thinking about compliments here. We are Devorah Jacobowitz. I love Devorah. Devorah is a Passaic person. We love Passaic people. And she's working on her daughter's bat mitzvah. And so many times, like as adults, we have an idea about how the party should be. And it's not necessarily what every child wants. And Devorah's a super mom. Yes, Devorah, I'm embarrassing you on Instagram. And she's really, really working with her daughter. Like, what do you want? Like, let's think through, how are you feeling about this? What do you want to think about it a few years from now? What are you going to go look back and say that you had, so that she can have the bas mitzvah that's going to be perfect for her daughter, not exactly what she had in mind, which
Right.
is amazing.
Right. Which again, now that builds confidence. And then, like, let's say, you know, sometimes it's too much. Like, that's a very wide range of options. And so, parents, you can isolate the options. You could give, okay, so I'm going to give you 3 or 4 choices, and then I'm going to let you make the choice. We still could throw it back at the child and be like, we still believe in you. I'm going to give you a little bit more support and nurturance or just scaffolding because you might need it. But no, okay, so it's not going to be all colors of the rainbow. I'm going to give you red and orange and yellow and green, and like now you choose. You know, there's always
Right.
that opportunity.
Which is very much what Devorah did. She's like, we could do this, we could do that.
Right.
Like, which one? And it's amazing. My Aunt Davis, hey there. My aunt's also so good to see you here. And my aunt's also out there doing parties and doing such fun things for girls. We have fun people here now. These are like all like music, parties. So nice. And the truth is that like each of us, which is so amazing, like no matter what our fields are, we come in contact with people every single moment of our day. We really do. Yes, we have some alone time, but especially with social media and being out there, we come in contact with so many people, and every single interaction is a chance to leave a little more kindness, to leave someone else feeling good about themselves, and being part of this whole idea of like, we want to empower other people. We want to give confidence to other people, and doing it in a way that's skilled. Sometimes we just say like, be kind, be happy, be nice. But by learning how to build a skill of being happy, by learning how to be nice, of learning how to be kind, of learning how to build confidence, then when we go out there, we can actually do that in just like our daily lives.
Right. No, 1,000%. I call it skill and drill, right? Like skill and drill. We practice, and that way, like when we actually have to do it, it comes so much more easily. And especially for like the anxious kid, it's good to know that like, okay, so I have what I need. I have my tool. I could do it. You know, some people it just comes naturally with, and they're not nervous and they could do it. But a lot of kids, like, it's true. Like, they just want to know, okay, so I know what to do. I have what I'm going to say. I have what I'm going to try. Like, that allows them to let their anxiety go down, and like that, let them just feel at least a little bit more confident to be able to do, you know, whatever it is that, you know, that they know that they have to do.
100%. So I feel like going off, I know we're going to end very like in a moment, and then I'm going to go into air conditioning, guys. Air conditioning. That's where I'm going. I'm going shades all off and AC. But what I really like, if I could give like every mother and girl something for day one, I would be like, commit to doing 3 things that are going to help you reach out to a friend. Commit to 3 things. And it can be smiling at 3 people. It can be, what's it called?
Helping.
It can be being helpful. It can be just introducing yourself. It can be like saying, hey, my name is, and I'm from this school. It can be simple. It can be talking to your counselor for a kid that's very anxious and might not talk to a counselor. It can be whatever it is you need to do.
Right. And some kids are not so great at speaking. So you can even bring in something, have some extra snack or something in your knapsack, so that if you're not going to be like speaking, then you could be giving. You could be like, you know,
cheer. I love that. And I always tell kids also, like, it's okay, like, for mothers, like, if your kid needs a little bit extra, like, send her with something super cool to camp. Like, get her the newest Pop-It thing. Get her the newest, like, whatever it is that's going to make her able to interact. But set up 3 things that you're going to do on day 1. And as parents, like, help a kid do it. If you're on camp staff, you can help a kid do it. And then through that, you're able to accomplish something, which again, that actually builds real legit confidence, because you did something hard. And if you could do it on day 1, you could probably do it on day 2. And that just paves the way for the start of a successful summer. That would be like if I was sending someone today, if I was talking to my own daughter, I would tell, this is what I would tell her today. Hassia, what would you tell someone if they were going like, what's your number one tip for day one?
Right. So I think success builds on itself. I think start off, again, like feeling good and having that mantra, and then having that, like I said, doing the hiccup, trying hard, to try to make a friend, try by reaching out, but also knowing that like success builds on itself. So if you can't do three, try with one. And then tomorrow you'll do two, and then three, and to feel good, because success builds. But I think that especially for like, have a plan. Try really hard to think like what you're saying. You have a goal, whatever it might be. Have a plan so that you go in knowing a little bit more, so that you're feeling more confident and in control over what you want to try to do. And that smile goes an incredibly long way. And so does helping people. I think that is just, all of those things together could be, a great plan for kids going off into camp. But it's a whole summer. Success builds on itself. Do the best you can, and most importantly, know that you gave it your best and that you are your best. So that's all that counts.
I love it. That's awesome. So hopefully we're going to see lots of happy, smiley,
Yes,
kids this summer. I think everyone is so ready after this year and a half of just so many changes. I think everyone's ready for like an amazing, amazing camp experience. And I can't wait. I'm so glad I got to meet you, Hassia.
I'm so glad I did too. And thank you. I know this is like crunch time for you. Like this is like literally the week before camp, and
Yes.
you're coming on. So thank you. Thank you
It's
for
my
coming
pleasure.
on.
And stay tuned. You'll watch our stories. You'll see lots of our like little tip and snippets over the summer. We work very hard within camp to incorporate these messages. So I can't wait to share them with everybody. And Hassia, I have a really, it's a Sarah Squad way of ending lives. We blow good night kisses to everyone because we started this during Corona. We're like, it's germ free, right? We can blow them. We can spread happiness and love throughout the world till we mwah, 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 mwah. That's how I
love it.
Thank you so much, Hassia, for inviting me
Thank
on.
you.
It was so fun.
All
Have
right.
a great night.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.